The views and opinions expressed on From the Mouths of Madness are that of the panel and not of the Geeks Under the Influence Network or their sponsors, Amazon.com and tpublic.com. Listeners, beware. Coming straight from the mouths of madness, I am one of the hosts, Lowdown. With me, as always, is
F.U.Hunter. What's up, bitches?
Space bitches.
Space.
Sci-fi bitches.
Sci-fi bitches, yes.
Fleshy, tentacle, oozy, porn space bitches.
Are we already back on fleshy?
I don't know, dude. There's a lot. Dude, sci-fi horror has got so much flesh and goo involved in it on a regular basis. So,
yeah.
There you go.
Someone that listened to our Cronenberg one really appreciated the creamy Cronenberg and
the gooey
god.
The gooey god, the creamy Cronenberg. And with us, so basically we're going to be talking about all things that is sci-fi horror. And with us tonight to discuss all that is a man who definitely knows his sci-fi horror. We've got Herr Grutz.
Hell yes. How the fuck are you guys doing?
Oh, I'm excited to hear what kind of off-the-wall fucking deep, dark Russian prison fucking sci-fi movie.
I'm looking at his notebook and like, there's a fuck ton of stuff. So
I'm just, and we actually had this conversation because for our listeners, we just released a Cronenberg episode a couple weeks ago, and we were like, let's have Grutz on that, and it's like, yeah, I mean, we could get a few different people on Cronenberg, but when it comes to just bringing some off the wall shit that I haven't heard of, Hunter hasn't heard of, and probably our listeners haven't heard of, to this sci-fi horror episode, and that's where I want Grutz at.
Fuck yeah.
That's where I want.
By the way, props. Fabian was great on that episode.
Oh, he crushed it, didn't he?
Hell yeah.
He fucking killed it. I was like, yeah, dude.
Now, you guys did also a Lovecraft episode, right? Didn't you?
No, we did. The Lovecraft was done on...
that was on
main flagship, yeah.
Wasn't
he also on that, though?
Yes.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I think the closest we've had on this one is a Stuart Gordon, which you can't help but start to delve into Lovecraft.
But, I mean, you literally don't have a choice.
Yeah.
You have zero choice. That was done on one of our October episodes.
Yes.
I think not last year, but the year before.
Yeah,
2019.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember.
Yep.
Speaking very briefly of Cronenberg before we get into full-on sci-fi horror.
Oh, yeah, we could definitely we can just do a quick talk about that. Like I said, we just did an episode, so if you want in-depth stuff, go listen to that, but we got to mention him in this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's going to come up. He's going to come up. However, you all didn't mention Existence.
No, yeah, we did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Very briefly, though.
Briefly, because it's sci-fi, but it's more of a thriller. It's not so much a horror.
It definitely went into body horror, but it was like that kind of like, it released in 99, right around the time of The Matrix, right after or something like that, and it was kind of into video games and stuff like that, and it was just like this bizarre thing. It still had
the PlayStation had come out, like it was definitely starting to touch on some of the...
still had the body horror shit going on.
So there was body horror, but like I guess the overall tone and story of the movie was definitely more like psychological thriller, kind of like for instance, like Spiders, not fleshy or body horror, but just a dark psychological thriller. Because I think I mentioned that where like his later career
is a really underrated movie.
It's an amazing movie. Ralph Fiennes does fucking Rafe. I can't pronounce his first name right.
Rafe.
I am saying it right.
Pronounce it like it's spelled like Ralph.
Yeah,
but like
I thought it was pronounced Rafe. Yeah,
Him
Rafe Fiennes.
And Ewan McGregor always fuck with me because Ewan, Rafe. Hello, Rafe. I'm Ewan. Hello, Ewan. I'm Rafe.
It's just like Ernest meets him. And McGregor. No, but in the 90s into the 2000s with Cronenberg, you started just getting more into like, there would be elements of body horror, but definitely more psychological thriller, psychological horror, less just full on fucking horror. You know, right. He definitely, which is good because I didn't want the same stuff from him because it was equally as good in different ways throughout all of his career. You know,
and I mean, sci-fi horror goes in all the directions. So you've got splatterific ones, you've got campy ones, but I think one of the elements that really makes sci-fi horror work so well is the sense of like dread and the unknown. The sort of existential like horror that really makes that genre go forward.
No, I agree. The unknown already gives the sci-fi horror genre a leg up because just it being an unknown, because it is either aliens or some sort of experiment, because this sci-fi goes into experimentation too, right? Like the unknown already has horror added to it.
Yes.
Without even going into it being horror. Like you haven't even delved into what is actually horrific about the story.
Yeah.
You just don't know what the fuck's going on, and that's scary.
It is.
You know?
The unknown is frightening.
Exactly. And so they got a leg up already.
Yeah.
It's a leg up already. So I was thinking a good way to start this is kind of just to get it out so we get it out of the way so we can delve into some deeper stuff, is kind of do a quick round robin of what our favorite all-time like sci-fi, if we have one, all-time favorite sci-fi horror movie is, and I'm going to rock with I got to go with The Thing. John Carpenter's 1982 The Thing. I mean, everyone knows I'm a Carpenter whore, and then the first time I saw that, like, I have yet to have a sci-fi movie, like, for me, top that.
I think it's the only one that I question if I like more than Halloween of Carpenter's work.
Yeah,
it's they battle it out, but goddamn, the thing is so fucking good.
It's so fucking good, dude.
It's so good.
It really is. Yeah, no, I would say, like, as a very loose, sort of top 5 situation, Thing's definitely in there.
Mm-hmm.
Ridley Scott's Alien,
And
definitely in there.
That was the one I was
going to say. I think F.U.Hunter's all-time favorite sci-fi horror.
Let's just throw out the reason for the season, all right? The whole reason we are doing a sci-fi horror is because goddamn LV 426 this fucking month.
That's right.
And, like, Alien, which, again, like, I go back and forth. Thing, Alien are, like, the two, if you say sci-fi horror, those are the two that drop immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And, I mean, what I love is the fact that Alien came out right after Close Encounters. So people were used to, Close Encounters, Spielberg made the aliens kind of, like, creepy and, mysterious. But people were like, oh, they're like little big head kids that are going to hug you.
Yeah,
and this
PG.
movie says, no, they're raping your face, they're coming out your chest, and they're going to fucking kill you and everybody on your ship. And I fucking love that. Like,
yeah.
Like, that's the thing I'm jealous about is people that actually got to go into the theater and see Alien when it first came out, and they're like, oh, I wonder what this is. Is this going to be like another Close Encounters? And then halfway through, they're going, oh, fuck, this is nothing like that.
I don't think I should have brought my kid to see this.
I mean, honestly, like, the fact that when they were realizing, like, how are we going to design this thing? And they got H.R. Giger to come in and make this amazing creature that was so fucking terrifying. They actually made a suit where some 7-foot, like, super skinny dude got into it.
Yep.
And
he passed away, I feel like, not too long ago.
What's that? Oh, the guy that
was in the suit.
I think so.
yeah, people that are 7 feet tall, they don't last that long.
What I think works so well with Alien is that Ridley Scott takes and follows the same beats of 2001 for the first, like, 40 minutes, where it's about space exploration, and, like, and you're going to this planet, there's a stress signal, and you're still kind of very slow paced, and you have no idea what you're going into, to the point, like, the first time you're watching it, bad lunch. I mean, fuck.
Yeah, bad lunch. There we go. And that's kind of the same thing for me with The Thing. Is I had seen Alien prior to seeing The Thing, but The Thing was actually one of the last Carpenter films I had actually seen, up to a certain point. Like, at a certain point, I would see the new ones as they came out, but of his old ones.
Yeah.
I think the only one I had seen after that I hadn't seen was the original Assault on Precinct 13, which wasn't really a horror movie, but this was the first one that made me feel. So Alien gave you there's something basically hunting us through this giant ship, right? You have and there is a bit of I don't know factor because you don't know who might have a chest burster just waiting to come out.
Yeah, they don't know shit. I mean,
they don't know shit. They don't know anything about this.
The whole thing was supposed to be quarantine and not let him back in.
Exactly.
And that went out the window. So yeah, they have no fucking clue.
But with The Thing, it brought in the element. I had never seen effects like that, especially practical effects. I mean, to this day, like, I don't care if you hate anything that's not CGI. If you don't watch a movie and just jaw drop at the creativity they went into building those fucking costumes and the props and everything went back on behind the scenes, then I don't know what to tell you. You just stop watching movies.
That's why I didn't care really for the remake prequel
Thank you.
thing, because it was just like,
Thank
come
you.
on.
It was so lazy.
It was
so lazy.
That's like, come
Some
on.
of us still enjoy it. So
Yeah, you also enjoy a bag of dicks. Anyway.
I believe the last guest we had on before we were recording had said that he was on Team F.U.Hunter.
I feel like I gave him the same treatment too. So
it's a polarized movie.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. So yeah.
And but the other thing was I hadn't really seen that level of distrust up to that point for me in a sci-fi movie. Like I hadn't seen that much of the human element of distrust of you can't because you see everybody being friends and getting along prior to that, and then at a certain point in the movie, you're like, they literally would kill the person next to them in an instant, kind of thing.
That's why it worked. Is because it sowed seeds of distrust because nobody knew who could be infected. And they had to figure that out, and they tried to figure out ways to do that in the movie, but like it completely meant that nobody was to be trusted.
And you're out in the middle of fucking nowhere. I mean, like, that's the thing is that, like, you're fucked. It's not like, I guess I'll take a hike, get the fuck out of, No, it's during a fucking snowstorm.
Yeah, they had to tie a rope.
Fucked up.
They had to tie a rope to get to the shed.
Yeah, like, literally.
So much.
All right, well, we take a shed. Hopefully, I don't die walking to the shed.
Wilford got locked in the shed. They had to tie a rope to some stakes so they could find the fucking shed.
But that's
some serious snow.
But that's what adds to that element is that not only are you like, who can I trust, but you can't fucking go anywhere. To the point, by the end of the movie, it's like, well, the only thing I can do is make sure this doesn't get out.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, where's the only other place to go? The Norwegians that just burn their shit to the ground?
Yeah.
Back into the snow from whence it came. That's all the place it's got to go.
Honestly, if you were the smartest motherfucker, you'd grab some rations and go to that fucking shed that Wilford Brimley went to.
Oh, you're fucked.
You're
still fucked.
No, hold up in there. Before he got there. Just be like,
Yeah.
this is my space. Come in and I'll kill you.
Yeah. I like it, though. That's legit, though.
Now, kind of a play on this that came out before the thing.
Oh, Grutz never finished his...
sorry.
What was I talking about?
You never finished your top 5 of what you were...
Because
I know you don't really do best stuff because you have like a slew of...
Yeah. I mean, it definitely Alien, Event Horizon's on that list. Absolutely, 100%. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. I got to give major props to Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
That's where I was going.
And folks, we're talking about the 1978 version.
Yes, I don't mind the 50s version either.
No, but I mean, we're not talking about what's it called, Snatchers?
No, it's Invasion.
There's Invasion from
Invasion. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
That one's.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have.
That's something early '90s.
We'll have a discussion about that.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying anything yet.
Fucking.
And it earned its place in my top 5. Colorado Space.
Oh yeah, dude. Look where that's at on my list. Just because.
Oh yeah,
it's not my favorite, but it's as far as for new science fiction movies. That fucking movie.
Yeah.
Woo!
And let's just get this out the way. I love the films that Richard Stanley's made. And I'm super fucking distressed that it's come to light that he is a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
But I do separate art from the artist.
Yeah.
And he's made some great movies. And fuck that guy. But I love that movie.
I got into a weird predicament where I was at Wax Moon, and he's starting to get back patches, and he has a sweet ass hardware back patch that's like an artist rendering kind of poster design. I don't know if I really want to get that right now with current events with the director, so fuck it.
Hardware's a good fucking movie, though.
I understand.
It's a badass flick.
Maybe not right now.
That's on my list too for sci-fi horror movies. I mean, it's a great fucking movie.
He just did his list, and one of the ones I was hoping he was going to bring up there, he did, which is kind of the opposite of the thing, which is Invasion of the Body Snatchers, where you're isolated and Invasion, you're in this major metropolitan, and at that point, you have no clue who is and who isn't a pod person. And I fucking love that movie. Like, especially, I mean, I'm not going to fucking give a spoiler warning. Everybody knows the fucking scene with Donald Sutherland.
Yeah, dude, it's 1978.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck.
So fucking iconic. To the fact that I do it to people all the fucking time where you just look at somebody, slowly raise your hand, and just start screeching at them. It's so fucking awesome. Because she's like, good, you made it. You're not one of them. And you're like, no, bitch. No. And it's that shot of him just fucking like, I want to get that as a tattoo eventually. It's so fucking awesome.
He hit that Vulcan with Donald Sutherland on his body.
Dude, I already got Willem Dafoe, right? Fuck it. You think I care? Then I got the Goblin Queen from fucking Troll 2. I really don't care.
Are you the one that has Rick Moranis, or is that...
No, that's my wife.
Oh, okay.
And same movie, though. I've got Willem Dafoe from Streets of Fire. She has Rick Moranis from Streets of Fire. And don't worry, Tom Atkins will be soon, so yeah.
I don't like people's faces on me. It's just weird. Not like their real face.
And I don't
If they're in makeup.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If it's going to be a face, it's going to be a fucking like...
it's not their real face, right? It's
crushed up zombie face.
Exactly. Yeah. So, God damn it.
Sorry.
But another good one, as far as it shows the metropolitan area, at least in my mind, is 1985's Life Force by Tobe Hooper. That fucking movie is so underrated for sci-fi horror. Like I rarely, obviously you too, but I rarely talk to somebody who has seen that film. Like, oh, you've got to fucking watch that. It's a slow burn, but the last like 35, 40 minutes of that movie is so worth it because it really picks up and goes hardcore for that long at the end of the movie. Right? It's so fucking good.
The only thing I have to say that's distracting as shit every time I watch it. No, I love it.
Lots and lots of titties. No, but it's distracting because I give a fuck about the story. She has a beautiful set of titties.
The fact that Patrick Stewart's in there and they have the scene and the worst looking Patrick Stewart like model they use, where it's Patrick Stewart and then some bald dude that doesn't look anything like fucking Patrick Stewart that is then vampirized or whatever. And I'm just thinking like that's the only thing because he's such an iconic person. I was like, God, that does not look anything like fucking him.
So he wasn't vampirized. She used him as a husk, basically.
Right, but
and then after he wasn't in it super long. The last scene was them in the helicopter where she's like pulling all of his blood out of his body, and she makes like this blood-looking stone.
But that
thing
shot of him is really not accurate at all.
Oh, that was a dummy though.
But that's what I'm saying. It's so distracting because anybody else, I don't care. It's just it's Patrick Stewart. I was like, that's really not him.
That movie was so much fun, and it also came at the perfect time in my life when I was a teenager. And what's her name? May.
God damn, I can't think of it. Hot ass bitch.
Yeah, I don't remember her name.
Hot ass naked bitch. I don't know.
Oh my God.
She was gorgeous.
Yeah, it changed my life. But yeah, basically that movie is space vampires.
Oh yeah,
and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, so but it's like space vampires that also turns people into like a zombie space vampire.
Yeah.
So you have like all of fucking England, just but space vampires zombified running around because once they got infected, they couldn't. So there was the original 3. And they would absorb, they're basically sucking life force, but their victims would come back and be starving because all their life force is gone. So they go to someone else, like their life force. And but there's just all these fucking, the special effects in that were so good.
Matilda May.
That's
her name. I was thinking Imelda May, but she's like a rockabilly queen.
Yeah, I know I just talked shit about the Patrick Stewart one, but the effects in that are fucking tight as shit.
The Patrick Stewart one was rough. Dude. That helicopter scene where they have like the blood getting sucked out of his body was pretty rough looking. It was not.
I mean, the first time that she sucks a dude's like essence out is just like.
That was in the medical facility. Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, it was badass. Great fucking film. And it's funny to note the guy who plays the main doctor, who the main character at the end goes back and realizes he has been infected. He plays Jacob Marley in the what's his face? Patton. Who played Patton? George C. Scott version of Christmas Carol.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he plays Jacob Marley. Because I heard his voice, and I'm like, I fucking know the voice, because that's the one I've watched every year since I was a kid, relentlessly. I might miss a couple other ones. That one I fucking have watched since I was a kid. And I'm like, I know that fucking voice. And then I saw his face, and I'm like, and it hit me. I was like, Jacob Marley. So I went and looked. I'm like, fuck yeah, that's Jacob Marley.
Hell yeah.
And it's also the creepiest Jacob Marley, because his voice is so, like, deep and regal and, like, just commanding. So, side note for those who care about that, but I recommend that. If you haven't seen that Christmas Carol, go check that out. But yeah, that's a definite one. I hope more people check that out.
One I was going to bring up, I just brought up the great actor that's in this movie, but fucking Night of the Creeps.
Oh, yeah. That definitely.
Which I know we covered kind of in the comedy, but I mean, it's got sci-fi elements, fucking Tom Atkins. Yeah. aliens and then turns fucking them into fucking zombies.
Yeah. Right. So I guess we should probably go through a few notable aliens on Earth situations, which Night of the Creeps is a great one.
That's so fucking good.
I mean, that movie is so much fun. It's a schlock fest. It's great.
It doesn't take itself seriously at all. Like,
no.
Right, exactly.
And of course, you could go right into Slither with that.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say.
Because that's literally James Gunn's like, oh hey, I can do it, and just make it a little more gory with a big fleshy Michael Rooker.
Basically. Yeah, exactly. And you can look at the good ones, you can look at the bad ones. Like, I mean, even like the first Extra was awesome.
The first Extra was awesome.
Was fun. And then there's even like super low rent, like stuff like Night Beast. That's a bunch of fun.
I haven't seen that one actually. Night Beast?
Vinegar Syndrome. Re-released that a couple years back.
I like them.
It's fun. I mean, it's dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
It's dumb as fuck. But it is that sort of situation where there's an alien that has crash landed or whatever it has on Earth, and shit starts happening. You know?
I mean, that kind of goes with Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh yeah.
You want
to talk about schlock?
Yeah, that's the greatest schlock ever, though. I fucking love that movie.
Oh, I got another one. Fucking random fucking movie directed by Robert Rodriguez, The Faculty.
Oh.
Yeah, The Faculty.
Which, if you've ever wanted to see Jon Stewart fucking get stabbed in the fucking eye with a pen, this is the movie for you because he plays a teacher. Yeah,
and also it falls under the same thing as a movie we're going to get into later. With late 90s CGI.
Oh yeah.
God, it's terrible.
The concept of it's fun, but fuck, that
dude,
last
the way
20 minutes
dude,
is terrible.
So fucking
it was
bad.
more fun when they weren't turned completely into the creatures, when they're like the little whatever. But once it turns, you're like, oh, can you go back to being like fucked up teachers and shit?
All I remember
really
about that
is
they used Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds' Red Right Hand so much in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that one had. I remember the soundtrack to that was a lot of covers, including Lane Staley and a bunch of people doing Another Brick in the Wall because they played that at the beginning and the credits. If you worked at the theater, you heard that version over and over again. So. But it's random motherfuckers that are in that shit. You got a Hobbit, you got fucking messy hair, Josh Hartnett, like a bunch of motherfuckers in that shit.
Oh yeah, the beautiful people were in that movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was a really good looking class. I mean, wow, there's no real ugly anybody ugly. It's just like wow, we're awesome. We're all beautiful people. Like we rock.
What are some other good ones with On Earth?
I mean, if you want to talk about major metropolitan area, you got to go with Shaky Cam.
No, I was gonna say like the first two are On Earth. Yeah, Cloverfield.
Yeah.
And 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah.
Right.
Both On Earth.
Which are super, like, barely connected.
It's like the same universe, essentially.
Yeah, it's not until like the last 10 minutes
that
of
you realize.
Lane But what I appreciate about Cloverfield, besides you see the big monster attack, but then you also have, you just fucking hide from the big monster.
No baby monsters.
Yep.
No baby monsters. Falling off big monster.
I love telling this story. I probably told it on a different podcast, but whatever.
It's fine.
I snuck in to see that movie the night it came out. I went to go see, what was it? Sweeney Todd, I think.
Oh, it's a good fucking movie.
Sweeney Todd, midnight movie or whatever it was. And it was like, 1 a.m. or something. And I walk out and I'm like, all right, I'm going home. And I see over there, it's like Cloverfield. And I was like, let me go piss. I'll just walk in. And, it was that Thursday night, after midnight, like first screening. And I had to sit like way the fuck up front because I was, I was breaking the law. And, but how fucking awesome was it to see this movie, like looking up like as this giant fucking monster attack is happening up at a screen, like cranking your neck. It was a perfect experience.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
I never got to see it that way.
Really?
Not like up front. No.
Yeah.
No.
But you gotta be careful with that because shaky cam and being up front where you can't see the sides. Yeah, you'll enjoy it for about 20 minutes and then you start up chucking.
That's the thing. Like I never had a problem with like the and
that doesn't happen to everybody.
Cam thing. Like not some people. Yeah, definitely have a problem with it.
I just flash back to Blair Witch and so many motherfuckers opening night throwing the fuck up that were sitting in those first two rows.
And I get it. This one I think was more deftly directed, and just the fact that they didn't show the monster much through the first like third of the movie, and then you start to finally see it. And I gotta say, I was absolutely fucking riveted when they are on the street and they're kind of having their dialogue, and then suddenly the fucking military comes through, and there's like just like this amazing sequence of them like just shooting shit at this fucking monster.
Yeah, like there's a battle all of a sudden. Like
there's a battle that just like rolls through their conversation. They're like, "What the fuck? Oh my god!" And it was so fucking captivating because you are in that moment. So hardcore. And yeah, big monster movies. I mean, obviously they are sci-fi horror, or they can be.
Yeah, they can be. Yes,
y'all know who the camera guy was that was doing all the commentary through that? T.J. Miller.
Yeah.
Yep.
T.J. Miller.
Young T.J. Miller.
Yep.
That was his breakout.
Yeah.
Into Hollywood.
And then, so with 10 Cloverfield Lane, we get the exact opposite. Where it's it's not shaky cam. B, it's in a bunker. And it's completely isolated with just 3 people.
Yeah, and it's honestly barely connected to Cloverfield at all. It's just weird they made this decision. Like, okay, she eventually gets out, and John Goodman's right. World's fucked, you know, and here's some spaceships and creatures.
Yeah, that's the thing. At the very final scene at the farmhouse, we get a creature.
Yeah.
And it was a really awesome, like, final battle between her and the creature.
But up till then, it's just, is John Goodman
being
fucking
technically crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
However, like, bringing back that psychological horror, because it was a small piece. I mean, that basically could have been a stage play, that movie, you know? Because it was all set in, like, one location, but it was well done. John Goodman was amazing. And
I'll throw another one out there, kind of major metropolitan monster one, The Host.
Yeah.
Yeah, which finally that director's gotten props. He directed Parasite last year, but yeah, The Host, not a lot of people have seen, and it is fucking great.
That's a great monster movie.
Yeah.
Great monster movie, straight up.
Yeah, another, I mean, this is going a little bit different, but it is on Earth, is 2018's Annihilation.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that
is where, like, the real sci-fi comes into the sci-fi horror. Because I fucking was blown away by this movie.
Oh, yeah. God.
Woo! Because it's centered around this this protagonist, Natalie Portman's character, who's going after
Oscar Isaac.
The previous team that went in to this event, this unexplained event. And the reason this definitely qualifies as horror is because nobody knows what it is. There's definitely a sense of just dread. Nobody understands what's happening, and then they go in, and then all the shit that happens up to her finding where the last team
and it finally ended up. But but like, there's so much shit that you see throughout their journey that totally makes it a horror movie.
Oh,
like just the way that reality has turned in on itself and just twisted and warped, and you get these creatures that clearly have to be in, like, angry and in pain because they're being mutated into these into a different version of themselves.
That's
it's
bear, whatever it is.
Bear pig,
that
freaking thing.
Screaming.
Yeah, dude.
Try to get that out of your head after.
No, dude, I couldn't
sleep. Try to go to sleep after watching the movie and not hear that, because it's almost like it's almost vocal cords.
No, I saw that in the theater, and, like, there are very few times that I am gripping the hand rests in the theater, like, with white knuckles.
Yeah.
And that shit was fucking got me.
Yeah, that was it's like, fucking intense, man. It's fucking intense.
And what that really brings to mind is that, there's a lot of, cheesy sci-fi horror flicks. This one perfectly added that sense of, like, sort of unexplained existential dread, which is a different level of horror that I think, that kind of cosmic horror, that H.P. Lovecraft level stuff really gets into.
Agreed, 100%. And that's actually a good lead into an older film that kind of breaks that barrier down, and that we got from Stuart Gordon in 1986 is From Beyond, where it just breaks into that other dimension, and what comes back from another dimension. Right. That movie is really fleshy. Some good and some bad.
Yeah.
I liked, obviously, Barbara Crampton in her dominatrix outfit. That was very...
Yes, I approve.
Enticing.
That movie had everything.
It had everything. But, like, just the first time you see Jeffrey Combs after the initial scene, and he's in the hospital, and he's just got the tape over his head, and, like, they literally gave him a third eye.
Yeah.
Literally gave him a third eye. Like, that's always been an expression. No, here you go. Bing! Fucking
there you go.
Stupid. And just the melding of, once the doctor comes back in full form, the melding, how he could just, like, absorb the person. Oh, God. Ugh. He looked like, it's as if, like, the father from the TV show Dinosaurs ate somebody and their head was still sticking out of his mouth. That's kind of what that looks like. Right? Because he's just like this big bulbous thing bouncing back and forth. Oh, God. It's so disgusting. But that movie definitely left an impact when I saw it. Outside of, obviously, because it's still science fiction. I mean, Reanimator. Duh. I mean, even if we want to talk science fiction, we go back and say Frankenstein was fucking science fiction because it was a mad scientist bringing back a corpse, so
absolutely.
That was all Stuart Gordon's did his take on the story of Lovecraft, basically doing that story, a mad scientist. So
I was gonna say, in the same vein, I when you said going from that you went backwards, I thought you were gonna go right into Color of out of space. Like literally, that's like you went the opposite way because I figured you went right into that because
No, that's like the crescendo.
Like Annihilation, it goes. They're really close together. I feel like, and the themes.
Color Out of Space is way more heavier though.
It is, but you've got just animal transformations, human transformations.
Right. Well, before we get there, why don't we talk about Sam Neill a little bit?
Because we gotta go into Sam Neill. Yes, we do.
Oh, yes.
Because another thing actually that Annihilation had that really made me think of a specific movie was when they see the clips of the original crew and Oscar Isaac's crew. Because Natalie Portman goes in to look for her boo, Oscar Isaac.
Right.
And there's a clip of him cutting a dude's stomach open and his intestines just moving.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's so Event Horizon. Mm-hmm. That's totally what I got from that scene.
Absolutely.
And then we talk about Sam Neill. We got to talk about Event Horizon. That fucking movie. Paul Anderson. Woo!
Paul W.S. Anderson.
Yeah.
In the movie.
You got to put the W.S. in there.
In the movie, under the credits, it's just Paul Anderson.
And then probably
Just saying, I just watched it yesterday.
It's not Paul Thomas Anderson.
No.
Yeah.
It's just Paul
Let's
Anderson.
just say maybe Paul Thomas Anderson was like, hey, motherfucker, you need to put some more initials in your fucking name because people are thinking they're renting a Boogie Nights sequel and it's fucking not.
Yeah. But was it 97, 98 when that movie
Where's
came out?
Luis Guzman? I've been watching this movie for an hour.
Exactly. I know John C. Reilly's going to pop up any moment here.
I wouldn't even been mad about that if he just popped up in like the old clip. I was like,
yeah.
hey guys, about to do some gravity jump.
It's kind of weird
cool.
around here. I don't know. And then like you see his fro get electrocuted and shit. Like,
But no, that movie, it flows so well. It's only a 92-minute movie, but I feel like if we'd have gotten the full version of it, it would have been like at least 2 hours and 5-10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, it initially was.
Yeah, and unfortunately, when the newest version came out, we still didn't get all that extra goodie. So, yeah, I don't know what happened. Normally, the studio that released it's really good at that stuff. I don't know if that film is just lost for good.
I believe it is. Everything I've heard is that, I mean, the initial cut that they submitted to the MPAA came back with an NC-17 rating for violence and horror.
Can't they just do an unrated version?
What kind of violence is going on there where they're like, this shit is like the same as a porn?
From what I've understood, what the shit that you get is like PG compared to what they cut out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that movie is horrifying.
Yes. Oh, yes.
What we get. And I mean, there's been a few, like, there has been like a unrated version, which has a little bit more that came out a couple years after the original release. Mm-hmm. And it's got a little extra in there. But, like, all the stuff that has been talked about on the internet for years, apparently the closest thing to anything was that there was, like, a VHS copy that Paul W.S. Anderson unearthed, and it was so bad quality that there's no way that he could cut it back in. So he ended up, like, just...
So are all the Resident Evil movies and all the other shit movies he's done since then just a response to them fucking him so hardcore on Event Horizon? He's like, fine, you know what? I'm not trying anymore. I'll make some other movies. I'm not trying more because y'all cut all my shit, so I'll make your video game movies.
I don't blame him.
Fucking care. Yeah.
I don't blame him. Fuck you.
He's just like, whatever, Resident Evil 7, I don't fucking care. Like, he's just he's just like, y'all fucked me.
Think about it. Part of the reason why that movie met, horrible critical response was because of how it was edited. Because people have gone back and like either rewatched it or 20 years later have watched it for the first time. It doesn't get the same response that it got when it first came out.
This is also a movie that came out early on after the invent of the NC-17 rating, which was considered by studios to be the death knell.
They won't play. Yeah, most
I mean,
theaters.
It's not going to be a profitable movie if it's NC-17. There's no way.
Didn't Showgirls prove that wrong?
No.
Did it make any money?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
I don't know.
Everybody knows about Showgirls because
it did okay, but I mean, basically movies that were rated that ended up, most of them got recut down to an R rating to appease the MPAA, which is a bullshit organization, by the way.
Totally.
And
plus theater chains, a lot of theater chains. You're not gonna you're not gonna put an NC-17 on a shitload of screens. That's gonna be your small art houses in New York. And no studio is going to go, yeah, we could try it out in an art house in New York. No, they want that everywhere. They want that in Boise, Idaho. They want it in Richmond, Virginia. They want it everywhere. So, of course,
it's not bankable. For the same reason, you worked at the movie theater business for a long time. I worked at Blockbuster for a number of years. Blockbuster wouldn't carry NC-17 movies.
Yep.
We had no back room because it was a family video store. And, so yeah, it's just not a thing that we had. Now, after shit kind of cooled down after the late 90s, early 2000s, and you started seeing unrated versions coming out of things, especially more independent movies. I mean, pretty much at this point, you can get an unrated version of a movie because they don't care about getting an MPAA rating.
Exactly.
And it's not going to, they understand, like, this is a independent movie. Like, we're not going to get like a giant theatrical release. We don't give a fuck about the
and
MPAA.
the low rent, and not the low rent, but the small cinema houses that really care about the film and not the fucking rating are going to play it anyway.
They're going to play it.
They're going to fucking play it.
Exactly.
And some studios will literally cut down what they have and go, okay, well, now it's rated R. And then right when the DVD comes out, okay, all right, put that bitch in the big mega uncut version that they intended, so they get theatrical release and that other release.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you can make extra money because you can release a regular version. Then you can also release like, oh, here's the special director's unrated cut. Spend extra $15. You know what I mean? But
hey,
yeah, no.
15 times a few thousand, that adds up.
Event Horizon, even what we got.
Still stellar.
After the fact, with like the director's cut that you can get on DVD Blu-ray, it's good. I mean, it's a solid, terrifying movie that takes place in outer space, which really amplifies the sci-fi element because you're completely out of your element. Okay, Donnie, and you're no longer on Earth. You're confined to a spacecraft or a station or whatever it might be, but you're completely out. And everything that's happening is foreign. It's supernatural or it's unexplained.
Yeah, it's so. One, I totally agree that the isolation of it being in space brings in mind Alien, but they actually tell you where you're at. They're like, we're right outside, right past Neptune. So like, holy shit, you're at the edge of our fucking solar system.
Yeah.
Like that I think adds a lot to it because you now the viewer knows, like, if you went past like third grade fucking science, that how far out they are away from Earth.
Yeah,
right.
And we figured out a portal to hell. Like, who would have thought?
They figured out he made a fucking black hole.
Yeah.
And no one's ever been inside a black hole.
Yeah.
And guess what they created? A fucking black hole. So it's like,
what's that going to do to the human psyche? Oh shit.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like, we already know the idea of a black hole is unknown. We don't actually get close enough to one to even study it per se because it'll just suck everything in. So what do you think's going to happen if you have something that you can actually go into that is and then come out of? Like,
all right. I want to read a little quote here, if that's all right. So this comes from H.P. Lovecraft, The Call of Cthulhu. And it reads like this. The most merciful thing in the world, I think, is the inability of the human mind to correlate all of its contents. We live on a placid island of ignorance in the midst of black seas of infinity, and it was not meant that we should voyage far. And what that says to me is that our minds have a certain range in which we can accept things, we accept our reality, we accept new things that come to play when new scientific advents happen, whatever. But when something happens that cannot be explained, that is so far beyond, we don't know where to go in our brains. And that is why sci-fi horror works so well, because you're suddenly, introduced to these concepts that are just like, but wait, what? Of course madness happens. That's the point.
Do you see? Do you see?
Exactly.
But yeah, you're exactly right, because when you just said, we have a range, we have limits, but we can accept new things. But the things that we accept that are new are still based off familiarity.
Yes.
Nothing 100% new ever gets thrown at us. You know what I mean? And it really doesn't.
We have to feel grounded in some way. That's
exactly
the human experience.
Exactly.
And then it's also how people react to the unknown or the unexpected in that nature. Some people are like, I got to, I need to secure myself. Others are like, I'm fucked. Just throw their arms up.
Yeah.
A good example is The Mist.
Yeah.
Where literally this town is like, hey, things are great. Oh, well, there's this weird mist. And they're all the people trapped in the grocery store. And as it goes on and more people get fucking killed by whatever the fuck is getting into that store, and you start to have the, Christian lady start like, well, these are the non-believers.
You
Why
see
you
the
fucking
society
dying?
polarization and all that.
To the point where, was it William Sadler, who literally seems to have his shit together. Eventually he's like, no, I'm with the Christian lady, and like, let's kill a fucking military guy. And it's literally to that point.
Yeah.
And the fact that the movie ends the way it did, which was a great choice by the director, by the way.
It was, but oh god.
But the fact that like
So
it
hard.
seemed like everything seemed so grim, and he basically like mercy kills all of the survivors, runs out of bullets before himself, right before the U.S. military comes through.
And the woman that left the fucking store like 15 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, Carol.
Carol. Yeah, Carol from Walking Dead.
Yeah.
She's on the fucking military transport, and you're like, bitch.
Yeah, and she looks at him like, well, you didn't fucking kiil your kid, did you? Like, here, see how I'm with my kids now?
He's just like, no!
I know every time this movie comes up, but I can't stress this enough. Darabont's intention with this movie is to see it in black and white. If you have it on
definitely
Blu-ray
watch
and
it in black and white.
watch it in
Yes.
black and white. It's the way to go about it, because it's not a very bloody movie.
But it's very
anyway,
dark
but
at times, and that just gets amplified. Like
the shadow he uses,
Yeah.
the shadowing he uses
Yeah.
is perfect with that.
like when
movie.
they lose the power in the store, and then it turns night.
Yes.
Creatures break in, and that whole scene is just
those
10 times better in
with
black
those
and white.
flashlights on and those like creatures that are flying towards the window. Those flashlights look so fucking bright in black
Yeah.
and white. You're like, because you're like, yeah, motherfucker, you turn that shit off. You're attracting all the goddamn creatures.
And then when it just it's like breaks through the fucking glass, and then they're just that whole scene in black and white was
yeah,
goddamn amazing.
and that's why I'm glad that they at least gave him that. Put that on the DVD and Blu-rays that we could see the version he intended, instead of he's like, fine,
Studios
fuckers.
still don't, even with all the feedback over the last like 6-7 years we've gotten from black and white versions, studios still don't see that they can make money releasing the black and white version and then releasing the color in the DVD. I mean, seriously, I would say 75% of the movies that have released a black and white version have gotten stellar reviews.
Yeah. Absolutely.
There have been a couple that you're like, I could live without. It's cool in black and white, but I don't need it. But then you've got the Mr. Black and White, you've got your Logan Noir, like you've got those ones where it's like Mad Max in black and white,
Fury Road
Holy in black and white.
shit.
I would have rather seen that in theater. I'm just saying, I love the movie, but if I could have seen that on the big screen in black and white, I would have been fucking woo.
I mean, that movie is amazing to see,
Period.
in any way, shape, or form. But
Yeah.
in black and white, it is amazing.
Truly shiny and chrome in that black and white version.
Now, I don't know if you're going to bring it up. I have yet to see this movie, but when we're talking about directors' intentions and how the studio fucked them, a sci-fi horror movie that I actually had to go over to Grutz's to watch because it's only available on goddamn Laserdisc
Oh boy.
is...
What we
The
got?
Keep.
Oh, I've seen The Keep. I actually have a digital copy of it.
Yeah,
it's
but
got
that's early Michael Mann.
early Michael Mann. Yeah.
It's got Scott Glenn in it. It's
what I'm
got
thinking of.
it's got Ian McKellen.
I
I
was
believe.
gonna
Ian
say
McKellen.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, and I watched.
Got Gabriel Burnt.
Gabriel Byrne. Yeah,
It's a slow burn, but it's so fucking good.
it's a movie that I believe the initial cut was about 3 hours long, and they were like, "Hell no, man! 3-hour movie? This is fucking crazy." And it got edited down. I think Tangerine Dream did the initial score.
They did. Tangerine Dream did the score. Yeah.
I ended up scoring the only widescreen available copy, which was on Laserdisc, like Japanese Laserdisc, a few years back, and I was just like, I got that, and then I got like Slipstream, and I was like, well, I guess I need a Laserdisc player.
It's really good quality, 720p quality file that I have, and I
Old
was
school
like,
Laserdiscs like legit had good quality.
I just remember Grutz had brought that up about coming over to watch it, and then
It's good.
as I'm going through the list of different sci-fi horrors, a lot of people brought that up, and I did a little research and found out how Michael Mann pretty much was like, yeah, there's a version out there, but I had a whole other fucking part of a whole movie.
He's like, this ain't my movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's why it has not been re-released.
yeah.
In any modern format. He's just put it aside.
Which is crazy. The studio wouldn't be like, because he became a big name. The movies he directed after that.
It makes sense now that like they would settle their differences and be like, hey, do you want to make some money? Would you like to release your director's cut? And we can all make some money.
Yeah, let's all make some money.
Be happy about that, but it's been so long. I think he just has a
because I mean not to poo-poo, but a lot of the people use Laserdisc anymore, so not really hitting that much of a market.
No, I mean,
not shit on Laserdisc. I'm just saying,
you were passive aggressively shitting on Laserdisc.
I still have a Laserdisc player. I'm just saying they haven't. You think they'd move up to at least DVDs? It's in the shed. I mean, I don't have it hooked up or anything.
It's in the shed, in the humidity and all the inclement. That motherfucker don't work. Fuck out of here.
It's more for display now, anyway.
Yeah, so. It's just fucking. It doesn't work in.
It's a 20-pound paperweight.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That bitch needs to be in climate control. It's lasers.
Hold on, it's a top loader, so that thing probably died if I kept it safe a long time ago.
Oh God, yeah. No, that's old school.
Yeah, when you say top loader, that's like first generation Laserdisc. So
when I say top loader, I still think VCR. That's first generation VCR top loader.
That Laserdisc might be older than fucking Lowdown here. All right.
I doubt it.
It's
top loader.
It's possible.
Yeah.
When did the top loader come out?
82.
I thought it'd be before that. Even.
It is older than me.
Yeah.
It is older than me. I didn't hear about Laserdisc since I was in middle school. I didn't know it fucking came out in 82.
Early Laserdisc. Yeah. It was early 80s. That technology came out.
All right.
Anyway.
There's one that it came out in 2017. I really enjoyed the film. It had a good cast, but at a certain point it gets fucking gross. Is the movie Life. Ryan Reynolds and Jake Gyllenhaal.
I didn't see that one, and I wanted to.
Check it out. It's a good movie, and I think there was an episode that we had Fabian on, actually, and that movie came up for some reason, and we both agreed, no, it gets fucking disgusting. There's a part where you're just ew. Not even enjoyable. You're just ew. but it is a very good movie. Basically, they find this organism in it, and then you start fucking with it, and then it kind of grows.
So unexplained. Keep it quarantined. Nope.
Yeah.
Got out.
But it's done really well. It's a rewatch for me. So definitely, if you find it, I think it's streaming either on Prime, Netflix, or Hulu right now. So
yeah.
You should be able to find
one of them.
Yeah.
There's a few sci-fi flicks I've been meaning to watch. That's one of them. Yeah.
It leans very heavy into sci-fi more than horror, but I would throw Pitch Black in there.
Pitch Black. Yes,
Pitch Black.
Just Pitch
That's
Black.
why I said Pitch Black. I didn't go into any Riddick.
That definitely is a more monster movie than action movie.
It leans very much sci-fi into horror, but I still would put that in this
category. That's what I'm saying, a sci-fi monster movie, because that one in particular was just strictly about avoiding the creatures.
Yes.
Whereas then it built on the bullshit
after that. Well, Vin Diesel is the hero. He could be the hero in all these movies now. I talk like this.
It was a relatively simple concept, but it worked really well.
A lot of jumps actually in that too, which was cool.
Yeah.
So I agree with that.
Yeah.
I will say one I just recently watched over the last week. It's on Prime. It's called Black Box, and it's in the vein of another movie that I kind of want to say it's in the same category. There's this new. There's been this new style of, horror, but also touching on the sci-fi horror element. So in Black Box, this man's in a terrible car accident. He's basically been categorized brain dead.
Okay.
But they bring him back, but he has amnesia. Can't remember shit, right? So his wife's dead his wife died in the car accident. Spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen this. I said the name. If you hadn't seen it, just pause it or fast forward, whatever. But there's a special program where they can pull your memories out, and then you can it'll put it back into you to where you remember it. So you put on these kind of glasses. Okay. It's like through hypnosis, essentially. Nice. They see if you can be hypnotized at first. Then they put you in the special head thing. It covers your eyes, and same symbol that they use to hypnotize you kind of does the same thing. And then it kind of starts pulling you out. You can travel through your memories, unbeknownst to you, that because you don't remember them, but it puts you in them, and then you live through them, and then it pulls it back out. But there's a twist.
What a twist!
Yeah, it's definitely a psychological horror.
Yeah,
because it involves the mind, but it was very well done. It unfolds very nicely. I could see it's got rewatch value for me. So I would enjoy it, but it definitely reminded me of it's about as sci-fi as horror as Get Out was sci-fi horror. Because people don't really look at it, but Get Out was a sci-fi horror movie because they were literally transplanting brains and it involved hypnosis and fucking with the brain. It was a psychological science fiction horror movie.
Yes. No, I agree with you. One that I didn't even have on my list, and you just made me think about it, talking about Black Box. I got to talk about Upgrade.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See, which is really
I didn't think that was a horror movie at first, but
sci-fi horror action.
Yeah.
It's like revenge. Like
Yes.
it's all these things. But god damn, did that movie
I was so impressed with that movie.
fucking blow you away.
I was so
I saw that
impressed.
shit in the theater, and
Yeah.
I was expecting some like mediocre shit, and I left the movie, especially with the ending, which I won't spoil.
Mm-hmm.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the psychological horror of that ending.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the sci-fi horror gets you going the whole way, and then the psychological horror kicks in at the end. So it's like just this whammy of, oh fuck, I'm uncomfortable.
I'm gonna feel weird bringing up this movie, but the director is a legit sci-fi director who has Starship Troopers, RoboCop, But his one kind of closest to horror movie, and I feel weird. This is the movie I'm bringing up of his is Hollow Man, where it's his
Invisible Man.
Yeah, but it's him jumping into kind of a horror movie. Away from the sci-fi, we're still having sci-fi elements,
and it was. It just.
I know that's what I'm saying. It feels weird to bring that up because I mean, again, you can bring up all of the other really good movies he's done.
Yeah.
But this is the only one that kind of leans into that horror element.
Oh, Elizabeth Shue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, but it definitely. And it was filmed and marketed as a horror movie.
Yeah.
It was. He was. It was a remake of Invisible Man without using the name Invisible Man. Now we did have a remake of Invisible Man recently, which I would probably rewatch over Hollow Man.
Hollow Man's goofy. I don't know. Like,
like when he's got the fin.
It's so silly.
It's
yeah,
so bad.
Yeah, it's so silly. But there's a part of me that actually enjoys just the goofiness of that movie.
It was the weird part of the mid-90s.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I will say a movie that heavily impressed me, and we're staying with like mad scientists, science level of sci-fi horror right now. Fucking Overlord by Julius Avery.
Fuck
that movie was fucking awesome.
J.J.
It was just
Abrams
fun.
produced
it, yeah. I mean, that movie was just fucking fun. World War II, Nazi Germany, of course, crazy German scientists, fucking experimenting with super serums and
Kurt Russell's kid.
Yeah, Wyatt Russell, who's our shitty Captain America. Never mind.
I know. I was gonna say, calm down. Yeah.
Just to get me fucking pissed off. Anyway,
but if you want to see a good representation, he's really good.
He's really good in Overlord.
Yeah.
That movie. I didn't really I remember when they marketed it as a horror movie, and the couple scenes I'm like, okay, where looks like they're running across past experiments that they've kind of locked away in a box, but like as the movie unfolds, you're like, oh no, they're creating fucking human monsters.
Yeah, it's a lot of body horror.
A lot of body horror, yeah. So
well, I mean, obviously with body horror, you got to go into like the Fly movies, which obviously Vincent Price started, but like Cronenberg
perfected.
Put the icing on the cake.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the Cronenberg film that if we were going to talk about one, I feel like it's got to be The Fly.
Yeah.
That was his crowning achievement in the
scientist.
sci-fi horror realm.
Absolutely. Let me see here, man. What else is left on my list here? Well, I mean, you guys have talked about The Void before. You had a whole episode on The Void.
We have a whole episode on The Void, but so if you want to get in depth, we can talk about that. But we can just
throw it out there.
We can just throw it out there. That was a good newer sci-fi horror movie.
It was, and it had very Lovecraftian vibes to it.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of cosmic dread, that sort of thing. Check out that episode, definitely. Couple lesser ones like the Abyss, Leviathan, the Rift.
Well, Leviathan, the Rift, and then the Rift. They're both really
really
good.
Kind of underwater, so it's like it takes it out of space. What's happening under the ocean?
It's still the unknown.
It is.
It's still the unknown.
We still have a lot of the oceans that we have not explored
because we physically can't. We don't have a structure that can not be crushed yet under the weight of the water.
But there's some cool shit down there.
Oh yeah.
I was going to throw out, it's a very weird-ass, kind of trippy sci-fi horror, but Under the Skin.
Yeah, that is a sci-fi horror, but it is a little weird,
Yeah. I mean, we know what happens to the guys when they're in the goo, they're fucking gone, but you don't really see a lot of actual fucking death. You just don't see a lot of return, so we know where they went.
That was Jonathan Glazer that did that, if I remember correctly. He was like a music video director for many years. And
we've had a theme of bad runs with that though. So this is a breath of fresh air.
I really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, Under the Skin was good.
It was like a slow burn of like an alien basically coming to Earth and like taking forms and stuff like that. I will say right now, and I'm not a parent, but like the most horrifying scene of that movie is a baby on the beach.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I'm like, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
I was just like, wait, what? Is this happening? Oh my God.
They went there. Oh, they went there. Oh boy. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Great, but that's a good movie. If we could do a quick round, I feel like we just kind of did that round robin of just a few more to mention, but I think it's going to wrap it up for just us talking about. Now there are so many more amazing sci-fi horror movies. We didn't even touch Roger Corman. We didn't even touch that schlock.
Galaxy of Terror.
Fucking humanoid from the
Seminoid.
Deep, Seminoid. Oh fuck, Forbidden World. Fucking
right.
Yeah, dude. I mean those are just schlock if you want to just have at it and have fun. Galaxy of Terror, especially with some fucking casting on that one. Yeah, you got actors you wouldn't expect. Really,
I would say like in the sense of like sci-fi horror, a lot of times there will be elements in a straight up hard sci-fi movie that is horrific.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would posit that the end of 2001 is fucking terrifying because he gets transported to another place where he has no concept of what reality is anymore. Time is happening, like everything's going on. It's psychedelic in its sense, and you're like, what the fuck? His brain breaks.
Yeah,
basically.
And on the other end of it, with The Abyss, that movie is not technically a horror movie, but there's a scene where he goes in and it's all bright and colorful, but he has no fucking idea what he's in right now. He has no clue of what's going on. Mm-hmm. And before that, all they saw was this creature that was taking matter and just moving it, like a water snake and all this random shit. So like, it's not a horror movie. It's just a basic science fiction movie that takes place in the water, but it's definitely got some horror elements to it.
It reinforces the notion that the unexplained is terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason why the Navy SEAL guys go, especially the main dude, Michael Bihn's character,
mm-hmm.
goes out of his mind because he's like, what do I do? I'm all alone. I'm cut off. I'm going to have to deal with this.
Mm-hmm.
And everything goes fucking sideways.
And that's someone that especially needs order because of the training. And when you have the unexplained, they can't even contemplate not having an answer for something. You know what I mean? So
what do I do? I got to blow it up with a nuke.
I'm going to blow up the water snake with a nuke. See how that works out. All right. That about wraps it up. But that doesn't mean we're done. Before we get to that, we've got a talk about the sponsors. Oh, the sponsors.
Oh, yeah.
First off, we got Amazon.com. Go to GUIPodcast.com. Go to the top right, click on the links button. It is the first link on the links page, Amazon.com. Click the link. It takes you to Amazon. You log in and shop like normal. But since it's through our link, we get a little kickback because podcasting ain't free, and we greatly appreciate it. And, you just shop like normal.
And we gave you another list of
a fuck ton of movies to purchase.
I know for a fact some of these are not fucking streaming. So
yeah, some of these are. So if you're not a Prime member, you could even do that. But if you are a Prime member and you want to see the rest that you didn't get for free, we'll tell you you won't regret purchasing them.
Buy the Mist.
Buy the Mist. Yeah, seriously, the Mist is fucking awesome.
I'm pretty sure if it's on any streaming, they're giving you the colored version.
Yeah, they're not giving you the black and white version. And our other sponsor would be TeePublic. Again, same links page. It's the second link on the page. Click that. It takes you to our merch store. All the shows under the GI Network have merch there. I believe it's like 42 now. I don't fucking know. There's so many designs that don't need to be made that are on there, but fuck it. They're fun. It is what it is.
Are you talking about a certain red shirt that says Jay Baruchel rules, or
that'd be one of the
I mean,
one of the many.
I just randomly think of a shirt
that's definitely one of them. Yes,
we love you, Abed.
Yeah, but no, there's tons of merch, tons of shirts. You can get on everything, but outside of shirts, hoodies, notebooks, totes. All I mean, there's tons of stuff you can get these designs on, and every show on the network has at least 2, some 3, 4. So And that leads me to go to GIPodcast.com and check out all the shows under the network. The 2 other people on this show have their own podcast.
Fuck yeah.
F.U.Hunter is part of a podcast with Herr Grutz called Beautiful Disasters. They have a really badass new logo that came out about a month ago that is fucking awesome, that I still need to order something from the next time there's a sale.
Yeah.
That shit's fucking badass. I do like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
Yeah. So
yeah, we got another one in the works. I got to get my artist on this shit.
Fuck yeah. But yeah, so all right, now that that's done, it is time for
Stump the Host.
So, Stump the Host is a rapid-fire trivia segment where we ask the guests to bring a series of questions for Hunter and us to just gain some bragging rights, swinging dicks and all that good stuff. Yeah. Hunter is again up by 3. It is now 13-10.
Oh, my.
Well, it was 12-10. He won the last one in a tie breaker.
Right. Yeah, it was a close one. So.
It was a close one.
See, I'm not talking any
all right,
shit.
Well, that answers my question of who's going to go first, because it's going to be you.
Oh, fuck. I feel like I'm fucked, though.
All right.
Boy.
So we're going to start here. These are all featuring trivia questions from the films that we discussed.
Oh, fuck me.
Oh, man.
Or at least
So
now we're going to look really dumb.
We're going to look super stupid.
tangentially discussed. Either way, one or the
Super
other.
stupid.
All right. First question. Lowdown. In The Thing, what is McCready's drink brand of choice?
J&B.
J&B Scotch.
J&B Scotch.
Got it. 1 point for you, bro.
I knew you were going to ask that fucking question, by the way.
Dude, I totally knew, man. I just
Motherfucker drinks that every Halloween, all right? He's walking around with that bottle. So.
Well, yeah.
it's actually a good, cheap, blended Scotch. I have a bottle at the house
but
right now. Thank you very
every
much.
Halloween, that's the...
It's for a cheap... we're talking cheap. We're talking like it's about as bottom level Scotch you can get. It's not that damn bad.
Well, it's not the bottom level, but it's all right.
It's below like Tomatin or something like that.
Oh, yeah. It's not a single malt.
No.
It's a blend.
It's a blend.
Yeah, it's right around the Red Label area. Okay?
Yeah. Red Label. I'll give you that.
It's
Red
about
Label.
there.
Yeah.
You know, it's better than Cuddy Stark. All right, so, Hunter, in The Mist, what was Thomas Jane's character's profession?
Oh, man. Poster artist.
Movie poster illustrator.
Yeah.
You got it, bro.
Yo, I was so ready to take that shit from you, boy.
Because I was so destroyed. I was like, oh, the fucking storm fucked up my studio.
Oh, there's another trivia question in there, though, if he thought to ask it pertaining to that.
All right, so those were the throwaways.
Oh, what
those
the movie
easy.
was they did a poster of? It
wasn't
the
a
Dark
movie.
Tower?
It was a book at that point.
Yeah, but... Yeah.
Fucker.
Dark Tower, you mean?
More like the Gunslinger.
Okay.
Dick.
Yeah. He did good work. It wasn't him, but, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's probably Drew Struzan. Like,
Good job, Punisher.
in
I
there.
mean...
Anyway.
All right, next. Who wrote the short story that became the 1995 sci-fi horror flick Screamers with Peter Weller?
So I think Peter Weller, I just think of Leviathan. I don't know about Screamers. I don't think I've seen that.
You never saw Screamers?
I don't think I've seen Screamers.
Oh, shit.
No, when you mention sci-fi horror and Peter Weller, or sci-fi and Peter Weller, I think of Leviathan. I know he was in that.
Right, yeah.
No, I don't know, Hunter.
You said who wrote the original...
Who wrote the short story,
Short story.
that became the film Screamers?
I'll be honest, I haven't seen Screamers either. I'm just going to throw out Lovecraft just to throw something.
I mean, if we're going to throw out a guess, I was like Philip K. Dick. No.
That is correct.
Oh, shit.
Oh! Hold on a second. Hold on. Because he gave up on it. And they said, well, if you're going to throw out anything, so...
Well, because I wasn't just going to... I don't like just throwing names, so it's up to Bruce. Does that count or not?
It doesn't count.
Okay. Damn.
Because he threw out a
'Cause
guess,
I did
and then
say
you were
something,
like,
and
oh,
then
let me
you
get another
answered.
guess.
Yeah.
God damn it.
So that doesn't count.
That's awesome, though.
No point. No point.
fuck.
This question's for you.
Oh, man.
All right.
Still, what is it?
It's tied.
Yeah.
1-1.
You guys are 1-1. Yeah. You're good.
All right. Oh, shit.
Fuck.
All right. See if I can read my own writing. Having just done the PG-13 Mortal Kombat movie, Paul W.S. Anderson passed on what Marvel film to direct his hard R sci-fi flick Event Horizon.
Blade. God. I have no idea then, because that's the only thing
Read
that came
that
out at the
again.
time.
Having just done Mortal Kombat PG-13, Paul W.S. Anderson passed on what Marvel film to direct his hard R sci-fi horror pick Event Horizon?
X-Men?
That is correct.
Nice. I just realized that, too. God damn it. Nice.
That is correct.
Son of a bitch.
No, but I think you heard the hard R and automatically thought Blade, because
Well,
he
I
did a
was
hard
doing-
R than
I was
Horizon,
just
so Blade
doing
was a rated R.
Timing, because...
But X-Men took a while to film.
It did.
It did.
But
It didn't
Blade
come
came
out
out...
till 2000.
Yeah,
Blade
but I
came,
mean...
Blade came out 2 or 3 years after Mortal Kombat, so...
Yeah, Blade was like 98 or 99.
I want to say so. Yeah.
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 Sweet.
All right.
All right, so this is me.
Yeah, that's
Back
him.
to you. What was Ripley's cat's name in Alien?
Oh, fuck me. Mr. Jinx?
Jonesy?
Jonesy. I knew it was a J.
You stole
man.
one.
Oh, you were... No, well, you're like... You literally had the J come out. I was
If
like,
I had just guessed Philip K. Dick, I wouldn't be in this predicament right now. Son of a bitch.
All right.
So we're tied still.
You guys are 2 and 2.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
2 and 2.
This is the sixth question. If you get this, win. Otherwise, we got to go to tiebreak.
some pressure.
Alrighty, here we go. Hunter, how many remakes of Invasion of the Body Snatchers have there been?
Is that including the original? So the original plus the other ones?
You can do it either way. Just let me
So
know.
there's original, and then there's 3 more.
You are correct.
Bam! Because there's that shitty ass Nicole Kidman,
Yeah.
Daniel Craig one
Yeah,
that
I was
fucking
going
came
to say
out.
there's
That's
4
dog
total.
shit.
There's 4 total.
Yep.
You are correct.
Nice.
There have been 4 total, 3 remakes from the 1956 version.
Bam.
Man, if I had just
You
guessed
wait for
Philip
me
K.
to
Dick,
you wait for me
Yeah.
to trip up and just
Yeah.
count that shitty '90s one and not think about the shitty Nicole Kidman one.
But if we, like I said, if I had guessed that, we'd still be tied 3-3. Damn it.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
So close.
Oh well.
I'm still thrown off that you got Jonesy wrong. Like,
And honestly, the tiebreaker was easy as fuck. It was going to be the first person that said it.
Yeah.
what was?
What was it?
In Color Out of Space, what type of animal did Nicolas Cage farm?
Alpaca.
Oh, it's too bad it doesn't count.
Yeah, I know, but I did get that.
You did
shit.
get that, yeah.
There you go.
And I waited for him to finish this time. He bitched me because I didn't wait for it to finish once.
All right, so
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So
No
yep,
worries.
Hunters again. So that's 10. It's 14-10.
Yeah.
You're up by the most you've been up by 4.
Damn. All right.
Yeah. Fuck me.
Yeah. Well, thank you for very solid questions.
No, they were great. Yeah, they were great questions. And I know coming from you, I should have guessed Philip K. Dick.
Yeah, probably.
Should have guessed Philip K. Dick.
You're like Philip K. Dick.
Yeah. Just 'cause- I mean, well, he's one of the greatest sci-fi writers ever.
Absolutely.
Outside of like, Frank, and then yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, he's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But thanks for being on, Grutz.
absolutely, man.
Fucking
Thanks for having me,
badass.
man. This was a great subject to talk about, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's been long overdue.
We're gonna have to
You
do
know.
a continuation too.
I mean,
at
yeah,
some
there's still
point.
so many
Yeah.
fucking we didn't touch. I mean, God, I look at my movie collection. I'm like, okay, that's about. I wrote down about a quarter.
Yep.
The ones I've got.
Easily. Yep.
Now, if we talk about a part 2, you know, when that comes out, it will probably definitely be way more deep cuts because we've definitely gone over a lot of the easy grabs, easy finds. But if you come back for seconds, then expect to have to dig a little bit for these ones.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and until we talk to you again, stay safe.
Join us at GUIPodcast.com. In a world ravaged by movie studios that keep rehashing the same things, only one podcaster has the guts to make it even worse. Join Mike the Hobbit as he traverses the internet to bring you some of the best and worst ideas for reboots, remakes, and reimaginings of some of your favorite and least favorite TV and film properties. Ideas like a John Waters He-Man movie, Fantastic Four the musical, and Aliens, done entirely with marionettes. What podcast would bring this evil upon the world? This is Smack My Pitch Up. Available anywhere you get your podcasts.
Hey guys, Scotty Big Daddy Preston here, that's right, the Geek Father, asking you to join me here every other week with friends and family of the GUI Network as we go through all the trials and tribulations of being a geeky parent. So remember, join us or cry.
My name is Amy Bogard,
And I'm Mike the Hobbit.
and we are the hosts of Deeply Upsetting, where we use our expertise to answer your most upsetting hypothetical quandaries, such as what non-winged animal deserves wings?
And what body part deserves a secret mouth?
Which cryptid is the worst roommate?
These questions and more that plague you will be answered on Deeply Upsetting, available anywhere you get your podcasts and at GUIPodcast.com.